Cool. So the reason I recorded this is twofold. Number one, there's some other people on the team, internal team, that want the feedback from the athletic trainers to know what's working, what is exciting, what can we improve from technology to resources to the athletic trainers. And then there might be other athletic trainers that weren't able to join and they would want to watch the video as well. So it's kind of a combination of user experience and community building, right? So as the world of WaveOn, we have the community, which is the group of athletic trainers that all think alike. And how can we work as a group to kind of light the fire under all of our butts and really move the needle forward and share good success stories that I think will be valuable and beneficial for everybody to hear. And then because of his utilization of the tool, he might have some feedback on what he has experienced with it. So then we can make it better, improve it. So then we can have more athletic trainers. And Hannah's kind of driving the community bus. So she'll have some thoughts and questions about what we already have in place to help some new people like Kelsey. We have now like onboarding videos that we've been working on in the background, because I started with a good idea and then I started to get more people like Hannah and Chiston, and they're just highlighting some of the gaps of like, hey, this would be helpful. Well, if you need it, then there's going to be 500 athletic trainers after you that need that as well. So it's always a constant moving target, and we don't know what the finish line is. So don't think I have all the answers. I don't expect you guys to have the answers, but we're really making progress. And what we've done over the last couple of weeks and months has never been done before, right? Everyone hears me say that all the time. It's not easy when you're doing something first, because we're not doing something better, faster, cheaper. We're doing something first, and there's a lot of hurdles and a lot of opportunities and a lot of excitement, and it's a lot of education. And you guys are going to help educate us. So I think we'll start at the community level, and I'll kind of give Hannah just what she was thinking about regarding the onboarding of content for the athletic trainers. And then I think that'll lead into what Chiston has been doing and how it can tie into future product development. So with that, Hannah, I'll let you have the floor just to kind of start that conversation.
Yeah. So for the community, we just updated the content that was under the learning modules, kind of broke it down into an athletic trainer that comes in via an organization, and then the independent athletic trainer. And we are working to build out some templates to help both, but primarily the independent athletic trainer have email communication, text communication, talking points to kind of give them that confidence when they take, their cells and them utilizing the WaveOn Health platform to a school, a sports organization, individuals. That was like the biggest gap that we had, is we all know how to do our job as athletic trainers. We don't necessarily know how to market that, especially when it comes to marketing yourself outside of your traditional workspace. It's just not something we typically have to do. Pretty much anyone who I've had conversations with who have gone through the onboarding, that's primarily the request, is to have more of those marketing style materials. So that's what we're focusing on. We do have all of the live athletic trainers into the community side. However, it definitely lacks engagement. And we tried to do some posts and things like that, and we just really didn't get much from that. We also have hosted now 2 community roundtables once a month, and we've had maybe 1 or 2 join at max outside of myself and Chiston. So we're hoping to grow that and utilize that with athletic trainers who get onboarded, to know that it is a resource and that it's there for all of us to learn from, to bring ideas to the table. What's working, what's not working, what do you need help with, what can we improve upon, and items to take back to Adam. So Chiston and I really are hoping that can improve and take off. I think if we get more people involved, we will see success for everybody.
Let me ask a question, and that's why I raised my hand. Because Kelsey's the new one to the group, the question's Kelsey. Are you familiar with the community that Hannah is talking about? That's the first question. And then whatever your answer is, we can start to improve the adoption of the community. So just what's your experience of knowledge, and is it even there? What does that mean?
Was that for me?
Yeah, it's for you.
Yeah. No, I have not been aware of that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. In all defense of everyone, including myself, there's just a lot of moving pieces and parts. So don't feel that anyone's doing anything right or wrong. It's more about, okay, let's figure out how to get you involved in the community. So I'm going to share my screen. And we have literally built on the back end of the application. So phase one of the application is the tool that allows an athletic trainer to communicate with an athlete, right? Very, very straightforward. What Hannah's talking about is, well, how do we engage? How do we encourage? How do we educate athletic trainers what it means to step out of the traditional model into this kind of virtual resource that has never been done before? So we have two, whatever they're called, communities. We have one that is for every athletic trainer. And if I go to learning, it's just kind of basic. And then because of what has happened, and we are always evolving, we then have a live community, which is when someone is fully engaged. We know the world of athletic trainers. There's going to be a bunch of them that are interested, but when we ask them to step forward and be part of the program, they're going to take a step back and say, well, you're supposed to make my life easier. Well, that's not the case in a startup. So if I click on the learning module under this one, this is what Hannah was referring to. And if I click on this organization, we now are teaching the athletic trainers how to use the platform. I'm going to turn off my camera. We have just my bandwidth in my house. It'll pop up. Hold on. It's giving resources so the athletic trainers know from a mindset. And then if I click on this step by step, these are the guides that we've put together around tutorials about the actual platform. Backtrack just for a second. When we have shown athletic trainers the tool, the platform, they like it, but they just don't know how to use it. So, well, you have to go and try it and you have to play with it. And there's, well, how do I set up an account? How do I create my availability? How do I write or create a program? Just like any technology company, it's like, here's the user guide. We're building that out. So for you as the newbie on the call, if I go back, oh, I didn't share it. Let me share this screen. I meant to show you. So this has all of the current guides. We already have them. They are available. And what we need to do right now, and I'll do it, I'll kind of give the floor back to Hannah, but I have your email. I'm going to invite you into this live one. And live really just means I want to make it happen. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines as an athletic trainer. I'm not going to expect Adam to make my life better. I want to be part of it. I want to be part of the future. And with that, just to kind of give the more of a rah-rah speech, Chiston, just tell the group, including Russell, like what you've been able to do lately, and people are realizing like, wow, this is exactly what's needed in the market because you've had some wins. So kind of give everybody an update.
Yeah, so I'm kind of taking a unconventional role with this platform. Instead of approaching schools and saying, hey, I want to be an athletic trainer and use this platform, I'm kind of building off something I already had established. I was blending the world of athletic training and personal training into a cohesive sort of flow. So the wins actually come from the clients that I had using the platform as a tool to create the programs and the guides and everything that's necessary, as well as one cohesive place for communication, sharing the information, let's say ACL or any sort of flyers or promos that I want to send to them. So I think for me personally, this platform is great to be the next level in blending the athletic trainer's programming and delivering it to that individual. So it's a little bit more cohesive, and that's exactly what has been working for me.
Just for some food for thought, and I'll use the food analogy to sprinkle some more sugar on what Tristan just said. When I personally would talk about virtual athletic training as a standalone idea into a service, it literally was, we're all driving a horse and buggy, and I'm talking about a rocket ship to the moon. And everyone's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. That makes no sense. What Tristan is highlighting is what we've really embraced and discussed for the last, we'll say, over a month. It's a +1 model that, in addition to being with athletes in person, we're now able to support them when we're not in front of them. And athletic trainers feel less threatened by that, but it really makes sense to the athletes, because our entire profession, and each one of us on the phone call, built our relationship around trust that was an in-person experience really when they were healthy, right? They weren't an injured athlete or injured patient. They were literally the star quarterback, the outside hitter, the volleyball player, et cetera, et cetera. And when they had a situation, they then came to us, and we then put on our athletic training hat. So that really highlights, well, let's be a person that is supporting another individual as a friend. We know what food they like. We know their boyfriend and girlfriend. And then when they have a problem, they would always come to us. And Tristan's just highlighting, he's like, yeah, I'm their personal trainer. And then I'm telling them, hey, I can support you when you're not in front of me. And here's what it costs. And they're like, yeah, that's awesome. And it's not just personal training. So yes, personal training has virtual personal training courses, and physical therapy has virtual PT, but it's not what athletic trainers do. And that's really the inception of the concept, the idea, and where Tristan is highlighting it. Because then for his personal training client, it's a +1. It's like, yes, I'm your personal trainer, and then I'm your +1, and I'm your virtual athletic trainer. And they'll be like, hey, you're now filling that gap that I didn't have otherwise. And I'll share one slide just because it's valuable around that concept. I just have to find the screen. We're presenting to the New Mexico Activities Association Sports Medicine Advisory Committee next week. And this is obviously, right, I'm talking to a bunch of athletic trainers, so I'm speaking to the choir. But this is the gap. So for Tristan and what he's talking about, he's already doing performance, and then he's able to layer on athletic training. And then when they need a referral into the healthcare system, he's able to do that. And people will pay for it. That's the convenience. That's the peace of mind. And Tristan's talking about that one-to-one model. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful, just to kind of give a little bit more clarity on how and why. Kelsey, I'll say any ideas or thoughts, because you're new and it's like drinking from a fire hose. I know it is. So we're trying to keep it simple. And you can ask Tristan super specific questions. And I want to hear, Adam, this is what I need. Like, I don't know what to do. I need this. And you can be super transparent, straight to the point, right? You're not going to hurt anyone's feelings. But I think that's where, as we get athletic trainers onboarding, we need to know exactly what tools and resources we need to apply for them or create for them.
Yeah, I'm coming from a very interesting niche world, which I think that's every athletic trainer, no matter what setting you're in. So I actually just left the high school setting because I realized my livelihood and sustainability of that lifestyle was not for me. So I'm actually going back to school to teach sports medicine at the high school level before I want to dip my feet in trying to get my PhD to teach as a professor. So I'm currently a full-time student, and I've been trying to brainstorm because I found this, and before I signed up, I found it while I was at the high school. And I was like, this is insane. This is so cool. How do I use this? And then, that thought goes away because I'm already, head deep in it with my millions of high school athletes. But now that I am not there anymore, I'm excited to get on a call with, I am thankfully close with the athletic trainer that took my role at that high school. But I have ideas of how to necessarily market this based off of our own experience and my own experience of exactly what you guys have echoed of. Every athlete is always going to want to reach out to you once they graduate or once they're in a different season. But to that athletic trainer, as it's coming from a support idea and not me taking away clientele from them, working cohesively together, and I'm not someone else that's a competition of I'm seeing Kelsey versus Logan. It's not, one of us is better than the other. And then my other question is, thankfully, because I know the coaches there still, but it's communicating cohesively against everybody, or not against, but with everybody, and that we're providing the same type of documentation that a PT can print off or email, or a physician. And honestly think this is a really cool bridge that just bleeds into everything you guys have preached so far. But those are the nitty things that I've, not necessarily barriers, but things that have come across before I've started that conversation.
No, that's helpful. Hannah, Tristan, any thoughts from an athletic trainer to an athletic trainer?
So I think you're doing a great job leaning into the sort of connection piece with the athletes and not saying you're taking away from another athletic trainer's plate. For me personally, I really sold the platform for kind of the convenience factor and the knowledge of my rehab expertise. So, every athletic trainer is going to be different at something, right? So we already know that. I would say just talk about, or just kind of continue leaning into, you're actually adding a convenience and even a better treatment for the athletes with a better connected circle, adding this platform into the mix, right? Because then it's going to be an addition to issue if you guys have any issues of communication or following exercise protocol, or maybe even having an easier way of communicating to a specific athlete, as opposed to tracking them down. Hey, have you seen Timmy? Well, let me just text him on the platform, and then here, he knows that you got the message. Here's the program. Go from there. But I think continue leaning on to that. I think you're already on the right mindset, and it's just a matter of time.
I like that. They need the convenience.
Going off of that, I think Adam and I have talked a lot about this. I think the hybrid, what we've kind of deemed the hybrid model, is going to be huge. And that's where you're basically what you're talking about, where you have an athletic trainer in person, but you are the virtual piece to that. And it's just elevating the access to athletic training care and elevating the care that the athletes are receiving. I wholeheartedly believe that that is the future, especially for our small schools who maybe don't have somebody full time, or, just to fill in those gaps. So I think highlighting what it's adding and the value it's adding is obviously going to be key. I think when you have conversations with that other athletic trainer who's there in person, when they're in person and they're providing care every day, to have somebody maybe on the backside who's going to field messages or, consultations and not have that load on them once they go home can help provide more work-life balance. So highlighting that is going to be huge in those conversations, and just approaching it from, as we all know, like a full team approach. And a care team includes many people and it includes many roles. And this is just another way, another tool in the toolbox to do that.
I wish I had someone like me while I was there.
Right.
Providing this nuts. Thank you. I love hearing that, because I couldn't put the two dots together. Yeah.
Well, and then Kelsey, just some other perspective, because you were in her role, and these are questions because I just don't know the answer. Does the school have football?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how many student athletes are there? Do you remember? Or how many sports? I mean, is it a school? Is it a small school?
It's the biggest high school size in Oregon. So it's at least over 300 every season. Yeah.
So you could not be in two places at one time, right? Which this athletic trainer can't, which means those Olympic sports or non-contact sports just don't get the same level of attention. Doesn't mean they don't get the same level of love or care. It's just the same level of attention. And the world of athletic training, and I said this 2 days ago and Hannah agreed, it's really chaos management. I mean, that's what athletic training is, right? Oh my God, class just ended. We got to get all the athletes taped and we got to get all the fields ready. And then we sit back and rest. And then it's an emergency moment. We're allowing athletic trainers to kind of have a calm down feeling because those lower caseloads, either they're able to utilize the technology, or if you and that athletic trainer have a good relationship, she might want you to be like the virtual assistant to her, and you could support those lower caseloads from the golf, the swimming, the tennis. And then if and when they need something in person, which Hannah and Tristan were talking about, you would then refer those athletes to her in the athletic training room when she's available. So it's really just an asset relocation perspective, right? You're just taking her time, which is her asset, and how do you help? And if we put an actionable item on this call for you specifically, and this is what I've told Hannah and Tristan from day one, I don't expect you guys to be a salesman out the gate, right? You're learning about how it works, what it does. Just get me on a call with that athletic trainer and you, and we'll talk about it and we'll discuss it.
Something I just thought before I forget this question. Have you guys come across any barriers or anything with administration in the schools? Is that not been an issue at all, or is it a seamless, like, because I'm close to the AD too, thankfully. So if that's just another person I know will need to be on board, that they approve it, does that matter?
No, I mean,
really
right,
the parents?
they're going to have to be involved. There's always going to be the budget. Well, if we're utilizing the service, is there a cost associated with it? And that's to be determined. You might say, you know what, I want to get my foot in the door. And we might say, hey, we want users. So like we can figure something out. The technology piece, is like their IT department? Do we need to have our IT department work with them? But what's exciting, and this is why Russ is on the call, we're part of a much bigger technology company that's already in this space. So a lot of those questions that we don't know, being traditional athletic trainers, they've already figured out all those answers. They know I don't want to call them workarounds. They know the appropriate processes and resources. So the answer is we can get in any opportunity. It's just creating the opportunity and having that conversation with the right person, and then we'll take it from there.
Cool.
Kelsey brings up a really good point, though, about how do we get the buy-in from the athletic director on this, right? And from what I've learned working in the high school market, like ADs, they realized how overworked the athletic trainers are. It's almost sort of this, they've become accepting of it, and that's why it's hard to retain athletic trainers because of the burnout, like you just mentioned, Kelsey. But I think what's more important to understand is that this hybrid model that Hannah was just explaining and Adam were talking about, like this is definitely the way that the direction of the market's going to go. And when you're trying to like sell this concept to an AD, they're a virtual athletic trainer. Well, how are they supposed to, assess them? And like, yeah, I was just talking with an orthopedic surgeon about this. He's like, this hybrid model is definitely the way that you need to go with it, because no matter what, sports medicine related injuries, they involve like having to touch, understand where the pain points are and everything like that, right? So when you're talking to an athletic director about this, he or she might be like, okay, like a virtual athletic trainer, like how are you supposed to ever see my athletes? Whereas like if you talk about it and then sort of this model where it's a hybrid where you can be in person every so often, like that they grasp that concept to be like, oh, okay, so you actually don't need to be here full time to do this, but you will be here sometimes in person. Like that resonates with them. And I think will allow them to sort of understand, gosh, like this could be an extension of support for my other athletic trainer to keep him or her happy and allow me to retain them year over year, right? So the AD is really important to sell to this because, as I mentioned, they are going to allocate a budget for this. But when it comes to like student health and safety purposes, like I don't care what any athletic director says, they can go back to the principal at that school and get something approved for it if it's anything health and safety related for students. So that's been what I've seen in the marketplace over the years.
Awesome.
So, right, let's make it actionable, because then I want Tristan to give some technology feedback, because like I said, it's recorded and Russ is on the call. Do you feel that you can approach Logan, I think was her name, and you can set up an informal call? It's going to be like this. I'm not a hard salesman. It's more of an education. Let her know what it does. I can show her the platform. Do you think you can set that up so then maybe you can go directly to the AD? But I don't want Logan to feel excluded in her involvement as the athletic trainer.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you need to ask me when I'm available, you literally can go to my calendar, my link, and just you set it up and invite like both people. So it's easy to set up that call with both of them. Yeah. And maybe even the ADs on the same call. Like you don't even have to do 2 calls. If you have that good relationship with the athletic director, just make it a one-stop shop.
Yeah, I like it.
Great. I mean, that's fantastic. Hannah, Tristan, any other, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds. I'm just trying to make one actionable item. But is there anything else from community or feedback from you're now, 1 or 2 steps ahead of Kelsey that you want to help her get more traction in the Oregon area?
What do you need as far as like material wise to go back and have those conversations? Because those are things that we're working on building. But if there's something that comes to mind that you need specifically, we can get going on that and get that to you to help you in those conversations that lead to the meeting, like with Adam.
Okay. Before we get there, I do need to iron out that I am living in the state of Washington.
Yep.
I have my licensure in Washington and Oregon. I don't have specific standing orders from a physician in Oregon or Washington. I'm not really worried about getting it from the physician I worked with in Oregon. But that part I don't have officially.
I will give you the business answer to that question. We can get you standing orders in 10 minutes. It's just signing a piece of paper. We have a doctor that's licensed in all 50 states. We kind of got the cart before the horse. There's a fee when we have to ask a doctor to do the standing orders. It's a whole different business model. Usually it's a school that is asking for standing orders because the doctor works at a hospital and all of their referrals go there. So it's just a different arrangement. So we have to spend money when we get the standing orders. We're now flipping the narrative around athletic trainers. We will get you standing orders when we have guaranteed clients, and they can be individuals, they can be the school. So just remember it's there, because we're not going to have you practice unlicensed without standing orders, but we need to make sure that the business model justifies the need for standing orders. And that's just once again, just the transition and the evolution of the profession. So just whenever you're ready, let me know. And if this the school AD, and just like Tristan, there's an opportunity for you to get individual athletic trainers. Like that's still on the table, or athletes. And that's the standing orders answer. But it's good to know that you need it, because Russ and I just had this conversation 20 minutes ago that we need to have it in our back pocket, but we don't need to do everybody first. We need to get clients first, and then we'll do standing orders.
Totally agree. Okay, cool. Thank you. I also don't want to abuse that at all, because I can still see if we need the physician that I have. But anyways, thank you. Hannah, the one thing I know right off the bat is so Ryan's the AD, and whatever he can see plain numbers, I have a feeling, and maybe this is going to be trial and error first, if it's going to be individual athletes versus team by team, or what your packages look like for like the whole school. or season by season? Just he's gonna obviously want to know if the school's paying for it, and then if the individuals, like, is this marketed where just an individual can use it, where the school doesn't have to pay for it, or both? And then I can see with Logan, the athletic trainer, he's going to want to know, or mainly want assistance with our post-surgical athletes, even though I'm not hands-on, but unfortunately that's a high theme. So, and thankfully that's something that's offered, and that's my bread and butter, and I would love to assist him with that too. So I just say that's more on an individual basis, versus ideally we're not going to have individuals having surgery as the fix, but that's not a group price. So just kind of curious, like, if that's a visual already created.
I'm going to ask some follow-up business questions about that. Do you feel the school is okay with their athletes and their families spending individual money when the athletes need more service from the athletic trainer? Because that's a very different experience than what happens in traditional athletic training, right? They just get a salary, and it doesn't matter how much they work or how little they work. They get the same service, and the families don't spend money for athletic training. They obviously spend money if they go to a performance coach, if they go see a PT. Do you feel that situation would be okay if the families needed more and they're on the football team, that they would spend more than another football player? Like, do you think that would fly?
The percentage is low.
Yeah.
I think some would be okay with it. But then again, like you said, it's situational, and I think some families can't afford it. So
cool. And then the other question about your ideas are, if Logan is covering football, we probably would not help football because Logan is the person helping them. So in your kind of question, do you feel at the high school level, we should create pricing based on number of teams and or athletes that get access to it? Or what we currently have is it's based on the size of the school, because Logan could still use it with football because there might be a JV football player and he's at varsity football practice that he can still help. So, and then this is why these customer calls are so good. We're building it out based on the customer, not what Adam and Russ think. So what are your thoughts? Because we have that model for college, but if we do need to do it for high school, like, that's acceptable.
That's kind of hard. I think I'd have to ask what Logan thinks, or like what he's experiencing, because then it gets to where does he need the help, but where do I also selfishly, that's awesome that I want to help you, but it's also like I can also take, I don't know. I think that's going to be a pick his brain and see what he's experienced so far, because I know what I experienced when I was there, and I would take any help I could get. And then that's a great question. I don't know the answer.
Can I?
And because the other, oh yeah, sorry, go ahead, Hannah. Go ahead.
Just like a thought for you, Kelsey, when you picture like what your experience was and how you're imagining yourself helping Logan now, no matter what the student athlete sport was, think of like the rehab load that you carried, and imagine having someone only come into the athletic training room 2 days a week, and someone's virtually checking in with them for at-home rehab another 1 day or 2 days, and how that would lighten your load in the room and maybe allow you to have better balance in there when you have somebody kind of shifting that. It's all about just shifting the mindset too of how you're delivering care, and trying to think outside the box a little bit of what we just traditionally know to like grind away in the athletic training room.
Yeah. Okay.
And then to kind of piggyback off what Hannah was saying, I think just listening to the conversation, if I was in your shoes, would market this and probably can create a loophole where the platform is for those athletes who have surgery and need that extra time. And you're only kind of starting with those athletes because, once again, the time management and the loads. And then if you start to see success on that front, then go to the sort of the lesser sports. Well, not lesser, but the not more hands-on. But I think if you talk about adding that with the AD, or adding that as the main benefit with the AD, I think that you'll be in golden, to be honest.
Yeah.
Adam, correct me if I'm wrong in saying this, but we've talked about before, don't feel like you have to maybe do it with every team. You could have say we're going to utilize this and we're going to trial it with these 2 teams or something like that, just so it doesn't feel so overwhelming.
Yeah, there's the technology startup hat. There's I know the world of athletic training. Really, really think about crawl, walk, run, because we're first to market. Like, there's nothing out there. We cannot expect someone to jump all in not knowing anything about use cases or what type of success stories there are. So if it's Logan or if it's the AD and they just want to practice with the golf team, we'll do the golf team. We can come up with whatever opportunity gets us in the door. You are already an athletic trainer. Logan is already an athletic trainer. The athletes are already playing sports and getting injured. This is just a tool to validate we don't have to be there all the time. And all these families want is the ability to ask, what should I do now? What should I do next? And how do I get to a specialist in the healthcare system? It's pretty simple. It's just we need to get more use cases. And that's why I said, if Logan is the one thing we're focusing on now, let's hone in for Kelsey on Logan. Let's make it successful. And at the same time, let's get you, Kelsey, in the system, in the platform, just playing with it, and get one athlete, get a family member, know how to make programs, how to set up your calendar, how to do a video call, how to chat with someone, and you'll realize this is amazing. Like, this is totally what athletic trainers have been talking about for 30 years. So with that, Chiston, let's really dive into your platform experience, because Russ had to jump, but I have the video recorded.
Okay.
Just get into what you have been utilizing, what questions, what opportunities, what challenges, all that stuff.
So I'll start with what I've been utilizing them the most, and then I'll talk about challenges after. I really like the resource of exercises on Wibby, not just orthopedics, but from cardiovascular, from strength training, from geriatric. You can really, there's so much a wide range, but also the versatility to input my own sort of exercise if I want to create that. I think that platform is kind of easy to use and user friendly. And then once you create the program, it actually populates great on WaveOn. So I love the seamlessness from creating the program to athletes seeing and implementing the program. Communication, I really haven't dialed the chat capabilities. I send a couple messages and then I receive the messages, but my main source of interaction with my clients are kind of through text, because I'm okay with, once they're onboarding, I then give them my number, and then from there, that's a little bit seamless. So I would give a little bit more feedback once I dive into that with communications. Big issues that I'm finding though, with the custom packages that I created, it's hard for a client to pay for a package, or they're having issues with that payment loading. So one of my clients, we talked to the IT and that got rectified, but the other one is still yet to be fixed. I tried to create a phantom account, so that needs to be sort of fixed a little bit. I think that's a big hurdle, especially if we're trying to drum up more business. I think people paying for that business should be the number one sort of on the list. Another thing that I've also found, I wish I had a little bit more options with my client profile. For example, if a client doesn't want to work with me anymore, how do I delete that client from my WaveOn profile? Or if the client wants to delete their profile once they're finished, I think that button is not accessible. And also how to update maybe information on my end from my athlete's profile. So those are sort of the hurdles I'm seeing right now. It's not a big deal because it's all workaround stuff, but the payment kiosks, especially with the custom packages, I think that should be. But other than that, hey, easy to use, very user friendly, endless resources of exercises. Honestly, whatever, you're only limited by your mind, because you can create a program, write it out exactly how you would want the athlete to do it. Sets, reps, tempo, rest, everything is taken care of. So it's really, really on board. But
No, that's great feedback. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
that was it. That was it.
Yeah, that's great feedback. A lot of what Chiston said, we are aware of. We're working on it. It's in the roadmap, but they will get this video and we'll share them. From user interface of creating an account, deleting an account, both on the athletic trainer and the athlete side. And then there's been changes this week around the payment because we've been getting some organizations onboarded. So there's a lot of work around that. So it might be different, but I'll have them watch this video and I'll have them just reach out to you if they have specific questions, but I think we'll be good to go. And I'll say this just because, Kelsey, you're new to the group. That is the type of information we need to hear, right? Just being straightforward. He's not hurting anyone's feelings. That's not hurting my feelings. And the world of tech development is, without that feedback, you can't make something better. So we've been asking athletic trainers for a long time to give us that type of feedback. The only way they can give us that feedback is if they have people test it out. And that's where it doesn't have to be a paying person. If we're able to get family and friends in there, you will first learn, hey, I can do a lot of programming. I can communicate, and this is cool. Or, hey, it would be awesome if it had something like this. And then that goes into the development roadmap. So I appreciate it, Chiston and Hannah and Kelsey, everything you guys are helping with. Anything else? Right? We need to do more of these, right? It's not even an option. We have to do it. We need to find a time that works for everyone's schedule, and everyone is all over the country in different time zones and different job settings. There's never going to be a perfect time, but we're starting with this 4, right? Me and the 3 of you. Do we want to keep it on a Friday? Do we want to pick a better time? Because Kelsey, you were fortunately off today. Like, when should we do the next one based on schedules?
Mornings are my favorite. So anytime I can work around that I can probably 9 out of 10 times make it.
Yeah, I was going to say either like a Sunday or a Friday for me would be ideal. Friday
Okay.
mid-afternoon, Sunday pretty open in the mornings. I think that will work flexibly.
I'm probably the most flexible. What time is it for you, Kelsey, right now?
11:46 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Pacific. You're Eastern. I'm Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You're Central, right, Tristan? You're Central?
No, he's my time.
Oh, you're Eastern. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
dang.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Just in
Yeah.
Ohio.
Ohio, yeah.
Dang. I mean, Friday, like any time of the day on Friday, there should not be any barriers for me.
Let's go a little bit earlier, only because there was one woman that said, oh, I can't. I'm seeing an athlete at that time. So if we go earlier, we might get one more person, knowing we're never going to please everybody. So I'm looking at my calendar. That's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find my calendar. I have too many tabs open. Every week is overkill. We don't need to do next week. Do you feel, this is me asking the 3 of you, is it beneficial enough and inspirational enough and exciting enough we want to do it twice a month or once a month? Because I don't want to have it be overkill and we jump on and nothing happens, but I don't want the excitement to disappear because we don't meet often enough. So what would be the best time, the 21st or in a month on the 7th?
I think the 21st.
Okay.
I think
Deal.
because in my opinion, if we do it twice a month until we're really rolling and then we drop it down, we drop it down. But I think it's going to be very helpful, especially because we're all very new at this.
And I want you guys to remember. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tristan. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. You're good.
All I was going to say is I don't want you guys to think I have all the answers. Like, I have the same passion you guys have. I want you to be part of it. And I told Hannah this, and I just didn't tell it to you, Tristan, because we just hadn't talked. Let's bring one more person that has the same passion, the same drive for their own pocketbook, but obviously the health of athletes and the profession of athletic training on the 21st. We've had over 200 athletic trainers that are already like sitting around the campfire. Now we just need to figure out how they really jump into the pool with us. So on the 21st, let's just make it a goal. 6. I'll just say 6. I'm not going to say 8. Let's just get 2 more people on the 21st that join it, and then we'll really start to build this community and traction and interest. So what time on the 21st? Do we want to do 10 a.m. Mountain Time? Is that too early for you, Kelsey? Is that too late for you guys, East Coast time?
That's going to be a little too early for me. I finish with my clients on Friday right around 11:30, 12 o'clock. So noon or 12:30 would be like ideal, 100%.
Well, that would be noon our time.
Yeah, noon our time. Sorry, Eastern time. Yeah.
So 10. So 10 would work. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
sorry.
saying Mountain Time. I was saying Mountain Time.
Yeah. I'm on board. That works.
Okay, cool. We will do 10. Did I send out this invitation, Hannah?
Yes, you did.
Do you feel I should send it out? Or do we want it to come from like the community, which like just I'm saying it's you, just for terms.
I can. Yeah. I can do it.
Yeah, you send it only because then if something pops up and I can't join, at least
then
you can run it. Yeah. Cool. So
all right.
action item following that. Oh, you know what? I was going to show you this too. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. This is for you, Kelsey. Here we go. So this is the community. And if I go, I have to do this. Come on. If I go into invited, Kelsey, I think you're in here. Or did you already accept it?
No, right there. Yeah.
I know I sent it. Weird. That's really weird. Let me invite you again because I did.
I'm accepting right now.
Okay, good. So you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the reason I bring this up, you can do this on your phone. It's not an app right now, but you can go to the website and then you can use it on your phone. So there's chatting features, right? So these are my notifications, just like any platform. But you can chat specific members. You can see who's in here. There's discussion. We don't want to use our cell phones because it's just going to be too many messages that aren't in I don't even want to call it a secure place, just a single repository of information. And then those learning modules are really important to help, I'll say, kind of catch you up to speed of where obviously Hannah and Tristan are.
Okay.
And when you go through it, that's when you're going to realize, oh, and I'll go back to what I was sharing before. The videos of the platform, as you watch them, you will be able to tell us, hey, here's another item that we need. Like, I need a video that tells me whatever. And
yeah, once you go through that, any feedback you have, feel free to send it.
Yep.
Send it my way.
Okay. Do you want email? Like, how do you want me to communicate with you guys individually?
Honestly, like we'll practice what I just said. Let me go back.
Exactly.
It keeps on changing the screen, so I'm sorry if I'm not highlighting it. Use the discussion board. And
Okay.
it's just like any platform, right? If you say, community feedback, and I'm just using this as an example, Hannah, she'll pop up.
Yep.
And then she will get it. Like we all get emails because your email is attached to it. But
Okay.
then because you did it that way as a regular post, everybody will see it and then people can comment on it, or you can do a chat and just send it directly to her because she's in
Okay.
here.
Adam, do
Yeah.
we want to
But I
add?
do-
Do we want to
Yeah.
add a tab on the side for feedback, like under announcements, community discussion, networking? Like, do you want me to add another channel for feedback or not yet? Is that opening us up for not what we're looking for?
No. I mean, you're right. I don't think it's going to hurt. It's just teaching people to use it.
To
And that's
use
all
it,
it is.
yeah.
Right? Like people know it's there. But I think it's starting with getting people to use the platform like we're showing Kelsey. And if it shows feedback, then someone will click on it and then they'll realize like, oh, this is where I should make the feedback. So I would honestly say either one. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I'll add that.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like the community discussion, right? This is something, I mean, this might be feedback. Can she have flyers? And we're
Yeah.
trying to have Hannah and Chiston manage this, but there needs to be activity to manage.
Yeah,
So it's like,
manage. We've been managing each
deal.
other.
Yeah, basically.
They've done a great job managing themselves. Like they're really good at it. All right. Anything else? The big thing for you, Kelsey, video, the recordings and the training, let me know when I can talk with Logan 1-on-3 or 1-on-2, or all four of us with the AD. And I can invite Hannah and Chiston if you guys want to come just to learn more. But that's the next step, is let's get an opportunity on the table.
You bet. I like it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I appreciate it, guys. I think this is exciting. Good stuff. I'll share the video. And what we'll try to do, Hannah, take this video and put it somewhere. So it might be in the learning, like
Yeah.
former calls just to watch. It doesn't mean anyone will or have to watch them, but at least if we have them available, someone will do it. And I will get the link to my thing and we can splice it and all that kind of
Yeah, because we can do that with the community
stuff. Yep.
monthly calls too.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Let's get 6. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Hannah's going to send that invite, and then I'm always available if you guys need it. I appreciate it.
Thanks
Sounds
for your
good.
support.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Kelsey.
Nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.